How are you holding your Switch to where you're holding the hinge? What?
Wait, what?
So my, I guess I have long, pinky.
No,
and
you
ring
just
finger.
have weird ass positioning.
Welcome back to another episode of the Burning Ship podcast, where a group of friends gather to talk the latest in nerd culture. I'm Frankie,
My name is Jason.
Here's Ivan.
My name is Lewis.
and this week we'll be talking about the recent Smash Bros. Direct and its newest character reveal, and talking about all the games that have been delayed as of recently. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe or follow us wherever podcasts can be found. So, how have you guys been?
Been alright.
Can't complain.
Very good, I guess.
Nice. So everyone's been good. Everyone's been solid.
For the most part, yeah.
Nothing new.
Not really. The only good, well, I guess not good, but new development is that my work started taking up Yu-Gi-Oh!
I like
which
how
has
you're
been
talking
very
about
interesting.
this,
I'm very
knowing
jealous.
what you've told us before.
What?
Uh,
But
Keep that
Yeah.
in, please.
not
So-
to interrupt, by the way, and I really do apologize for doing this last minute. Did you guys see this image, by the way?
Which
Yes.
one?
I
The
saw.
one
what
I
you
just sent to
posted
the
right now.
podcast.
The back
So
of the
this is the
Xbox.
Series X back. And this is like, I don't know why this is causing such an uproar. I'm guessing this is because this is like the first glimpse of its backside, right?
It's also
is
because
that true?
It's also because it's using Type A's instead of Type C's. Also, like no display port.
It's not a computer.
It's not supposed to be, but wait, what the heck is
How
that?
am I gonna connect my DVI now?
Is that the SD?
No, so what that is right now for the prototype Xboxes, that's gonna be
Oh.
like a diagnostic port for basically connecting it to your computer.
Then, okay, so
That's just
then
the
here's my
prototype
thing,
port.
bro. Like,
Where's the
then why
SATA
do we
cable?
even care about what this looks like?
People care about that back, you know?
It's
But why
'cause,
do
I
they
mean,
care if it's the prototype? It's not
and it's
the...
a good. I mean, it has a good glimpse at to what it could be, though. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
No.
Well, this is a big likely that it might be. So
The thing I like about it off the bat, right? No brick for the power supply.
Well,
'Cause
we
those
don't know that yet.
Yeah, we
Well, the
haven't
thing
seen
is
that.
those prongs show like a universal power cable. So the thing that you can find on your PlayStation or your newer Xboxes,
Mhm.
just one strip of cable. That's all you need. Not this $60-$70 piece of brickage.
Yeah, it's
Also-
a pain in the ass, especially when those bricks break.
Yep. Also, one thing that more than likely is not gonna be in the final copy of the Xbox, but that little notch that you see on top is supposed to be making it so you can remove the back. Which again, more than likely is not gonna be in the final, but it's there for the prototype.
I'm not gonna lie, it looks a lot less thicker than I was expecting it to. This looks much more like a PC tower. I was expecting like chonky PC tower. You know what I'm saying?
I thought we expected just a regular PC tower.
But like in some of the promotion images, it looks like it is, but then it also looks like it's like, you know, like one of the like like it's a BBW of PC towers.
Well, we did compare it to like the controller when it was side next to the controller.
Fair
We
enough.
said it wasn't
I
going to
mean,
be
well,
a chunky.
from this angle, it looks like the controller is like half the size of this thing, or like half the width, and then
Mhm.
some. In my opinion, I don't. Again, just judging by how big a HDMI port is,
Yeah.
it looks a
Yeah.
lot smaller than I was expecting it to.
I thought it was going to look like an MATX case, and it looks like an MATX case.
Shut up.
Or ITX case.
Lewis, you want to know
Maybe.
something also that won't be on the final product?
What?
The text.
Oh yeah.
You know,
The
Oh, yeah,
prototype
well-
I mean,
for
hey,
sale
if
text?
that makes it out to the public though, that'd be funny as hell.
Yeah. Also, something that else that was going around about this image is the person who posted this is pretty much fired at this point.
Oh, I can
because-
imagine.
They have that serial number right there, and more than likely they can be able to track that down.
Yeah.
The
What if
funny
it was
thing
a
is-
whole group that was working on it? Do you think they
Oof.
just fired the whole group?
I would assume so.
And
Or
whatever
penali-
company
or
was
penalize
using
them.
it got freaking sued? Or is
Probably.
going to be sued?
Yeah, probably.
Because this is confidential stuff. It's like, yeah.
Well, they
Yeah,
signed
you're-
an NDA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
they have to
I mean,
sign
not
NDA.
only are they getting fired or the employees just getting terminated, the company that leaked it could end up facing a lawsuit on Microsoft's behalf. Again, that's all speculative. We don't know. Off to the point.
As
This could
of
also
just
be one of
one
those
person.
things where it's quote unquote leaked to build hype. Because I don't know if any of you really know, but there's a lot of talk in the works that Sony's going to be doing a big reveal at the end of this month, early next month. So, hey, everyone's talking about PlayStation now. No one's really talking about Xbox. You know what Xbox could use right now? You know?
Controversy.
Some leaked images.
Yeah, quote unquote leaked. Or strategic leaking.
But it's funny because even these leaked images mean nothing because it's the prototype. It's nothing of the final product. It's,
Yes, but the thing is that it
People
makes
still
people
like
start
prototypes.
talking about it. And it makes people put articles about it.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, like, as far as, like, from my standpoint, this is worthless to me because I don't give a shit about the prototype. I want to know what's in the actual final build.
Well,
Mhm.
again, people still care about the prototype. Still, people think the PlayStation 5 is going to look like that V-shaped cutout thing.
Which I
And-
think
and
is
that's
absolutely
ridiculous to me.
stupid.
Well, I mean, it's not us, our fault. It's literally people's... My bad. That's,
Ooh.
You don't say that.
I know. Censor that out. And that's what I was talking about.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
But,
Like, for me personally, I think it could use a couple of add-ons to the back, honestly.
Type
some
C,
Type-C charge cables.
Yes, Type-C being the first and foremost.
dual Ethernet
Um,
ports.
That too. And honestly, I kind of want to see a console with more than one HDMI out.
So that way you can do VR.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
But, okay, but then if this is some sort of indicator for the final product, then we can assume they're not going to follow PlayStation's route and do a VR, or they're going to have a solution like PlayStation's, which
They
I'm not
won't
a
be
fan
doing VR as far as I'm aware of. They're spearheading more so their project xCloud or Cloud X or whatever.
Mhm. The whole cloud gaming thing.
Basically Stadia but better.
Mhm.
Because
Because Stadia
it's
was
already
a failure.
it's already in beta, right? And people have been reporting some stuff about it. I haven't really looked into much, but the only thing I know is that someone was like, "Oh, they added Destiny 2 to the Stadia launch, and that made Destiny 2 for them basically a mobile game now because it runs so good on a Note 10 that they could literally just take it, plug in their or hook up their Xbox controller to the Bluetooth,
Uh-huh.
and just go at it."
Interesting.
Right? And I'm just like,
So
is
what
this
you're
the
saying
future? Could I
is-
just bring my phone and a controller and then just be like, okay, let me plug up my Xbox to it or plug in my account and then I can just play on the go? Is this the Vita? Is this what the Vita was supposed to be?
Was.
Was.
Look, the Vita is very underrated. I'll be honest with you.
You didn't even get a Vita.
I don't have a Vita, but it's underrated. I'll be honest with you. There was multiple opportunities where I could have had a Vita, and I was just like, "A, do I really want to spend the money now?" And then I'm already a sucker for the Switch, so no. Because again, this is another rumor that's just like we're just gonna get all the rumors out of here in this beginning part. That the Switch
Before the
might have a
banter.
Pro series lined up for it coming relatively soon, and I'm like, hey, if there's a Switch Pro, I'm gonna be probably the first one to get one.
I mean, if I have the money for it, I'd be up there.
That's
as
why I
well.
got those points.
Why?
Some coupons.
Why? You literally bought a regular Switch after you bought another Switch.
Oh, by the way,
And not one of those are mine. So I'm
But-
confused.
by the way, the podcast is bankrupt.
Oh yeah, I haven't used all the funds for 2 Switches.
Oh,
No.
Mine
and
and
his.
that's all the fun.
Not just that. Frankie decided to give Chris $5
What? You're
To pay
paying him
him for
more than
his-
you paid us the entire year?
to pay him for his contribution to the podcast.
What the?
It's a strategy, okay? Now we can file for bankruptcy.
Why would that help us?
I don't know.
If anything, I think it helps you.
No, we're in this together.
Well, I'm just saying,
Well,
if
you
they have
heard it
new
here.
colors,
This is Lewis's final podcast.
I'm just saying. Listen, if they have a Switch Pro that ends up being literally just a white Switch, I'd be all over that.
Really?
If they have some
think about it,
variations,
it's
it'd be
500.
nice.
500? I got a deposit down for free. I'll pay it over time instead of just trying to spend all my money at once.
So you would rather spend $500 for a white quote-unquote Switch Pro, but not the 500 on the special limited edition PS4 Pro version of Monster Hunter with Rathalos on it?
And that ain't 500. That is 800.
It was 500 at the venue.
No, it
At the
wasn't.
time that we went, it was 500.
I didn't see it.
I saw it, and I said, it's 500. We put our money together, we can buy it. And you were like, nah, I'll get it someday.
Hey, if it's still there, next time, just buy it. Just sell the one you have, buy it. Family, PS4. But at that time, it's kind of useless, Like, the only point you'd be getting that is just for collection's sake. And don't get me wrong, it looks beautiful.
The controller?
And I know someone might kill me for saying this, but realistically, I would spend about $150 on that controller.
It's nice.
I know.
This guy.
That's
I mean, if Kingdom Hearts had like a nice limited edition PlayStation, I would have bought that.
Oh, they did come out, and we were too late for that.
Well, I mean, if it was up for sale like now.
My
Oh.
boss ended up getting that, by the way.
Oh,
Apparently-
must be freaking nice.
Apparently, it has really bad connection issues to the internet.
I don't care. I have a
It's Kingdom
landline.
Hearts. Kingdom Hearts. You don't need internet.
I mean, you need internet to download shit.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But was it even a PS4 Pro? I thought it was a regular PS4.
That's a pro.
It's a pro. Sad times, my guy. Sad times.
Yes.
We were
Should-
literally told it was announced while we were working. I think.
No,
Yeah.
man.
And then we tried to go in for the pre-order, and then it was like, it's
No.
sold out. I was like,
Look,
what the fuck?
we're ranting about speculations, Frankie. We can't just go to the first topic just yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on Amazon for $548.
That's not good. I'll just be honest with you. It's not going to be 500. At most, 4.
Return the cabin and buy a PlayStation. Kingdom Hearts edition. Tough decisions.
Yes, do it. Buy. Consume. Or put it down towards a PS5 when they announce the pricing and all that.
But would they have a Kingdom Hearts edition?
No, of course not.
Exactly.
Unless
Yo,
unless
you tell me
they
if-
made Kingdom Hearts, new generation or something.
can you tell me if they bring it into your work, Ivan?
What?
You know what? Kingdom Hearts.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. No one's gonna trade
It's
that in. but sure.
$339 pre-owned, $339 refurbished, and $224 new.
Yeah. So if you don't know, the thing about GameStop is that all the pre-owned systems are the same price. If it was just blank, if it was a super sought after limited edition.
Must be nice.
Sorry, I died a little bit. But yeah, like some guy literally traded not new, but it was like the Halo 5 edition of the Xbox One, 1 terabyte.
Mhm.
It sold as much as a regular Xbox One would, about like $180. I know a little bit more because it had the 1 terabyte storage, but like still, like $200 for that is amazing.
Hey, Jason.
Yes.
eBay has it $370.
Is it really worth it though?
And
Maybe.
it comes with both the PlayStation controller and he's giving it with the Xbox One controller too.
Why?
All right.
So the Xbox One controller, but it came with a special theme one. But he's including it with the PlayStation as well.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
So it'd be really cool, and this is complete speculation, like balls to the wall theory time.
Okay.
Mhm.
If they make the Joy-Cons two-tone colors, I would be buying that shit faster than you can say, Switch Pro.
What if somebody
Switch
offered you
Pro.
a place to rent out, but it cost the same amount as that Switch?
Well, I mean, would you be moving in with me?
No.
Well, you see,
Well, I mean, I'd be sad because I wouldn't
renting
have
it,
anybody.
you have to pay each month. the Switch, it's just a one-time purchase.
Well, Jason said just one time. Like,
Yeah,
I
just a
gotta-
one-time payment of the same amount as that Switch, and you only.
Well,
have
I'm an
money for it.
idealist. I would get my own place, so no one could hear me scream about the Switch.
All right, so that answered my question.
And then I would get a credit card and then get myself in debt.
Ivan tucks his Switch in before every night.
No, I actually treat my Switch kind of crappy. I'm not gonna lie. It was a refurbished model, so I was just like, it's already kind of dinged up a little bit. I mean, I'm not gonna spend the extra bells and whistles to make it amazing. Now, say I were to get a Lich Pro model, I would treat that thing like it's my child.
Have you ever considered modding it and giving it like a new skin?
I considered that. The thing is that I don't know too much about the cabling. I mean, I could learn, obviously, and I could do all that shit. But the thing is that I just don't have the time. A, I don't have the artistic ability. B, and I mean, I could give them to my. And the thing is that with this one, I could just end up giving it to my sisters.
You can buy pre-designed skins and casing for them.
That's lame.
I mean, there's some good skins and shells for it.
Shout out to D-Brand.
No. I'm saying not like skins. I'm saying like casings that have already been redesigned. The shells.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've seen the ones that make them clear.
Yeah. So,
but that's again a project that you have to learn. But that's not hard at all.
It's not. The Switch is not that hard.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would think the thing I want to do the most is just change the goddamn hinge on this thing because it opens on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm playing it in handheld mode is the most frustrating thing. Because I'm like, one, my SD card is out in the open, ready to be, I don't know, something.
How do you hold your Switch where you're not covering the hinge?
I mean, no, I got my Switch right here, actually. Here. So I have it. How are you holding your Switch to where you're holding the hinge? What?
Wait, what?
So my, I guess I have long pinky.
No,
and
you
ring
just
finger.
have weird ass positioning.
Okay, so my pinky, my finger, and my ring finger are right over it.
Do you?
And then
do you
everything else.
Do you do the claw in handheld mode with the Switch? You heathen.
That's why
I'm doing claw, and it's I can grip the I can grip the hinge. Lewis.
Yes.
Oh my
I
God.
knew it.
This monster.
You horrible man.
No.
All right. Well, I'm done with my
Fine.
rant. We can go ahead and
Fine.
start.
I'm gonna take a picture just to show you how I'm holding it.
Wow. But since we're talking about the Switch, the recent Smash Bros. Direct came out and they showed off a new character, which I know you guys are familiar with this character because you guys have played Fire Emblem. I haven't.
I mean,
Yes.
So would you guys
highly
like
recommend
to?
you play it, by the way, first of all.
Mhm.
That's my first quote of the day. Play Fire Emblem Three Houses. You won't regret it. Amazing game.
No regrets.
Fear the deer.
No. Screw whatever he just said.
You get the best memes with the golden deer, so don't even listen to Jason. What I'm talking about, the funny thing is that Byleth got introduced to Smash
Yes.
Bros. And it's literally caused like a shitstorm in the US Twitter space, right?
Oh, it's not just US, but yes.
Mainly the US.
Mainly
most
the
vocal.
US.
Most vocal. Japan was like disappointed, but like refrained from bitching.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's difference in culture, you know?
And then Europeans were hit or miss as well. I don't know, Latin community. Probably should.
It was an overall consensus of disappointment in the Smash community.
But the thing is like, are they just disappointed because it's another Fire Emblem character, or like,
Yes. Literally, it's because out of any of the characters they could have chosen for the final character of this DLC pass, they chose a Fire Emblem character.
Best Fire Emblem. Just kidding. Not the best, but I mean, very well deserved to be in there, not gonna lie. But again, it's kind of weird that Byleth's in, because Rex from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, when they announced him at the time, he was too new to be included.
Mm-hmm.
But they have similar time frames of game.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I mean, The thing about it is, Fire Emblem Three Houses is getting DLC soon. I'm pretty sure that's why they're gonna.
Well,
be
yeah, Nintendo
pushing.
has its hand in the decision making process for Sakurai to implement characters. Like they'll
Yeah.
always give him a nudge. Obviously, ultimately, I believe it's up to him who and what gets in. But Nintendo has that good influence, you know. It's like, hey, be really beneficial for us to do, and be like, hey, get that Fire Emblem moolah. But yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, honestly, I don't think they would have been as horribly received as they were had they have been the first fighter of the second fighter pass.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
Because
so
then the community's at least like, well, we're gonna get 5 more characters out of it.
six more characters.
Well, no, if it was the first fighter of the next one.
Yeah, no, next fighter pass is 6.
Yeah, I know, but if he was the first, they would
yeah.
get 5 more.
Yeah. Well,
But the
That
thing is, too, like, then that's why I don't understand the logic of people being upset right now, because we have 6 more fighters in the second fighter pass, which
is
have
absurd.
already been decided. They're already being worked on. So there's not
There
much
was
the
a-
community can do as far as requesting.
There was a meme, I think, what's his face sent. Jesus.
Where it was just a bunch of Fire Emblem
Where it was all like
characters?
there's just Fire
Or the
Emblem characters for the
Bionicles?
DLC characters.
Oh no, I saw the Bionicle one. I thought that one
No.
was funny as well.
No, they had Fire Emblem characters for all of the fighter pass. I'm like, yo, hey, I would not be mad at all if Hector got in Smash.
You think? Well, okay. Let me ask you something. Do you think if one more Fire Emblem character got introduced in the next Smash Pass, would the community be upset?
If it was the first one, yes. If it was the middle one, people would have a 50-50 split. Or, I'd say 60-40 split, favorable towards unfavorable. And if it was the last one, yes, people would be outraged as well. Now, depending on who it is, I think is the main thing. Now, if it's like anyone from 3 houses, it'd just be immediately upset. If it was like
Hector.
a villain or Hector, that's just personal bias. But I think a lot of the community adores him, so I want to say yes. If it was any of those, because those people also do not use a sword, right? That's another thing people are upset about. It's like, oh, another sword lord, quote unquote sword lord, because we already know Byleth uses a bunch of different weapons now.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool.
Which I'm like, honestly, that kid could have worked for Dante.
It could have worked for the Monster Hunter.
But then there's my thing of like, everybody's complaining, oh, it's another sword user and another Fire Emblem character. Not just that it's purely a Fire Emblem character, but another sword user in the game. And I'm like, Dante would have been the same way. Dante is a sword user. He has other weapons, which is how they made Byleth work as well, because he has...
Don't get me
Are you talking
started
about
on
Dante from what
Dante?
I'm talking about?
Because
Yeah.
I get sad, because I think that would have been really fucking cool.
I honestly think he has a shot of being in the second pass.
Yeah, for
Definitely
sure.
being a character.
But hey,
Um,
imagine his double trigger in Smash Bros. Come on, man.
That would
You
be
can't be
cool.
like, you can't be just a little upset that
Okay, so we are talking about the same Dante here.
Yeah.
Who else would we be talking about?
No.
Dante from Dante's Inferno, clearly.
That one spin-off game for the Xbox?
That was so weird. So weird. No, you know what I'm talking about, right, Jason?
I know exactly what the game you're talking about.
Not DMC, but the actual
Yes.
game. Okay.
Dante's Inferno, yes. I'm well aware.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
what's it called? If they do the Dante, it would be cool if they do the music thing as well with his combos.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. But
Yeah.
highly doubt it.
Yeah, highly doubt it. But it'd be cool.
You know what they should do if Dante gets introduced? They should add Virgil as the Mii brawler because of his gauntlet.
Yeah, I mean, there is a sword me.
Not Virgil. Nero. There we go. Yeah,
Yo.
Nero with his gauntlet.
Speaking of the
Mm.
Mii Fighters, we got 5 Mii Fighters. What do you guys think of it? I think I like 2 of them.
Wait,
What?
What?
The Mii Fighters costumes.
Costumes. What? You're talking about Cuphead?
Cuphead, I thought was interesting.
That's the
because
only one
it
that
fits
mattered.
No, the main one that mattered was Sans when it came out.
No, but I'm talking about like
Yeah,
of
this
the ones
one.
that they showed this direct.
Oh, gotcha.
The one that's Cuphead because it has a
Cuphead was
music
the
track,
major one.
and
Yeah.
music in Cuphead is amazing.
I mean, they also got Altair.
Who cares? You mean Altair from the game Altair? The fact that
Assassin's
they couldn't
Creed.
put Assassin's Creed in the goddamn thing because it's supposed to be for good boys and girls is so
I
funny
did
to me.
not really care.
Oh my god.
Neither did I, and I'm an Assassin's Creed fan.
Yeah. Because it was nothing special. There was nothing that went with it that made it cool. Where Cuphead at least had the soundtrack to go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just like Sans had the soundtrack.
Megalovania!
Was it Megalovania?
Yes. Megalovania
Sans
was
is in
introduced.
Smash.
I just realized I got paid, so I could buy the Smash.
I might buy the Smash Pass tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pick up your DLC.
I think I'm gonna get the Smash Pass.
This guy.
But
First,
hey,
the DLC for
Different.
Kingdom Hearts.
or and guys in general.
Yeah.
So now that we kind of touched on the controversy, I personally don't think it's that crazy big of a deal. So I want to kind of shift focus to the other aspect of the thing that a lot of people glossed over because of it.
What?
We're getting 6 new fighters.
I know.
They're all confirmed. So what are you? Who are you speculating will make it in?
said that, by the way.
I did say that.
I know you said it, but the part I'm leading to is which guys? Who do you think's in?
Dante, I think, is a high contender. For sure.
A lot of people have been saying Steve still.
Steve will not make it in.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not.
Maybe as a Mii fighter costume, I could see that. But I could never see him as a playable character on his own.
Maybe.
Now, do you think they would include Rex? And I know you don't know who Rex is. So from the characters from Xenoblade Chronicles.
They might introduce
maybe.
another Xenoblade character.
The one I'm thinking of, maybe. Sorry for interrupting.
That's all good.
But the Ring Fit trainer person.
No.
No, they wouldn't introduce another.
That'd be terrible. I'd be so upset. But I mean, I would still appreciate that it's in, you know?
There's the big 3 right now, which is Dante, which I think is likely. Sora, which is
Not
unlikely
likely.
because Disney owns the rights.
Yeah, because Disney has its big fat hands in there waiting
Because
to...
Square Enix was all for having Cloud in the game. And honestly, it would be a big boost to Kingdom Hearts sales, especially with the DLC coming out, if Sora was announced.
That's the funny thing is that would be... this final one would have been the opportune time to release Sora. Remind's just coming out, or just came out 2 days prior, because I believe Byleth releases the 26th, if I'm not mistaken. But just came out 2 days prior. Everyone has Kingdom Hearts in their memories, and then they're like, oh shit, Sora's in Smash now. It's not one of those browser games.
Exactly. And it's a thing where it would have been opportune time to do it, and you know, on Disney's point of view, like, it'll increase sales, so I don't know why they wouldn't do it. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Sora's gonna be a hard one to get into. Smash in general. I don't think it will be in there. I hope it does, but to me, that's one of the big 3 possibilities.
What if we get
ahead.
like Dragon Ball characters?
No. They
No.
would introduce Dragon Ball characters.
No.
I know.
But,
Maybe like Goku's gi
no.
as a Mii costume, but that's the closest thing we would get, I think.
Oh no, I think maybe the main characters from Astro Train, maybe.
That'd be very, very interesting because it would be like a kind of like an ice climber.
Kind of like where
Well,
you
my
have
final
like,
guess
the
is
actual-
probably Doom Guy.
Doom Guy? I like that
I
one.
think Doom Guy would be another one of the big 3 that would probably go in there. I mean, the way I see it is that Nintendo likes to target big franchises that are already established. Something that they know people will be excited about and is well known, already well received.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any games that have just a single game in their, I guess, lineage would be considered for a DLC character. Now, they could prove us wrong and do it, but I doubt it.
All right.
Geralt.
What if we get something crazy like Conquer?
No.
No.
No, they already have
Maybe
one.
Raymond.
They would only have
Maybe
one
Raymond.
Rareware game. My
Rayman would be interesting.
3 that I would like to see is that I have a high feeling that there'd be at least one Pokemon from the newest gen, right? Like that's a high probability.
It did well. And with the DLC announcement, it's likely.
My
might even
Pokemon
be
of
the
choice, my Pokemon of choice would be Toxtricity.
Really?
Yes, because imagine having 4 forms of the amp state and then 4 forms of the unamp state.
I would have said the new legendary that they're introducing with the first DLC from the dojo.
I mean, I would not like
you
it.
know that
I wouldn't
be
like
fair.
it, but I think that's more likely
yeah,
because
it makes
he's
sense
already
because
fighting.
Yeah, it's like a fist fighting like.
Yeah,
fighter.
but I don't care. He ain't no rocker like my boy. But from there we got who else? Another villain from the Legend of Zelda series, Skull Kid. Who was the emo guy in Skyward Sword?
I don't know.
Yeah, same.
One of those two. Anything from the Legend of Zelda series, just to build the hype over towards the new Breath of the Wild sequel.
You know
That's
that?
true.
Yeah, that actually makes sense.
And then
Paintbrush Mario,
Paintbrush Mario.
Sunshine.
And then a lot of people want to see Genos in for some reason, and that's from, I believe, Mario RPG.
Yes, it is.
I would personally, like I said, my heart of hearts, Japan is with me. They want Monster Hunter, the Hunter.
Yes, the Hunter would be such a good pick.
That would be my number one choice for a fighter in Smash.
His
Because
attacks
the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, his attacks would be interesting because the smashes could be different weapons.
Oh, you already know one of the smashes is the greatsword.
Mm-hmm.
You know
So-
the most strongest attack he has is probably with the greatsword.
Yeah, so it's like it's good. It would be interesting.
His
I
ultimate
assume
would
it
be the
would be a
ballista
Well,
or the Dragonator.
the to me, the Monster Hunter character would be the most ambitious character Smash could do. If they can pull off, like, you know how Shulk has the wheel with all his different, like, buffs and shit, or
Mhm.
Hero has his RPG menu.
Mhm.
If Monster Hunter had a similar mechanism where they can switch out loadouts as far as, like, oh, I'm running a bow now for attacks instead of a sword or the, what's it called? Charge blade or something, that would be disgusting.
It'd be an interesting mechanic, but I highly doubt they would do something like that.
It would take way too long.
Mhm.
Unless
those
it's
are my-
the final character.
Those are my 3 that I'm gearing for. Or hoping end up in Smash. Or hopefully all 3 end up in Smash so I can play
Would
them all.
maybe Geralt be a possibility because since the Witcher is on the Switch.
Witcher series does have some contention. I don't think it has enough of a following in Japan for it to be realistic.
Mm-hmm.
On west side it makes sense, but as far as the east side is concerned, not many of them play any of
Well,
the
think
Witcher
about
games.
it. Banjo-Kazooie made it in.
Yeah, but that was definitely a throw to the fans. For
Mhm.
sure.
Mhm.
So the same way Hero was for the Japanese, because nobody over here really knew who Hero was. But in Japan, Dragon Quest is huge.
Yeah.
Can we get our boy
So-
Guigi?
No,
Luigi,
I honestly, if there is one thing I would say is I don't think I need any more Mario characters, with the exception of Waluigi.
You're one of
Uh,
those.
But
Well,
what's it
no,
called?
like I can see it now. His animation would be like you have ascended from assist trophy, and then his assist trophy breaks, and he joins the fight. It'd be cool.
The thing is that with in regards to Guigi, I really hope with this fighter pass, instead of focusing more on me characters, they just add additional costume for characters. Like
Oh yeah,
like
Oh,
new
that'd be
like,
skins.
interesting.
like high quality skins. Like Guigi would be amazing on the already functioning Luigi,
Yeah.
right? Like what else? Like things for Link, things for not necessarily the Pokemon guys. I mean, for Pokemon, they could like add the scarves because of Rescue or Mystery Dungeon coming out.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
about really it. But yeah, there's just like so much stuff you can do with all the existing roster. You can add costumes and stuff for them. That I feel like that's a wasted opportunity. I'd be more willing to spend for a fighter pass for costumes on already existing characters than costumes for me characters that I really rarely use.
I agree with you.
Have a Toon Link. Have the Chibi Link from Link's Awakening.
I feel like at that point it's a bit too different because the Link from Link's Awakening and then Toon Link have a different just like structure altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Where at that point, the skin could be influencing hit detection.
Mhm.
Yeah,
that point,
hitboxes would change.
At that point, that's where it becomes very like iffy, and that's probably why they're like so hesitant about doing it, right?
Yeah.
So if anything, Link from Link's Awakening would be like its own separate character, you would say?
It would have to be. Otherwise, you're gonna either be getting hit or avoiding hits because the hitboxes would have to remain the same, even though it's a skin and the visual looks different.
Okay.
So it's kind of messed up.
But it does make sense. It does make sense.
Yeah, with Luigi, it's literally the same outline. Everything's the same. It's just the quote unquote the material Luigi's made out of would just be goo.
Do you think if Mario sprays him with the water, I don't know how many of you played Luigi's Mansion or not, but Luigi dies to water instantly. You think if they spray him with the Mario water thing, it's just instant knockout?
Or like a Squirtle.
I just use Greninja.
Or Squirtle.
I keep forgetting Greninja's in the game. Funny enough.
Squirtle also. Great
Squirtle.
choice.
Yeah.
But yeah. What about you, Frankie or Lewis? Any characters you'd like to see in
You
the
already
new Fighter
mentioned
Pass?
Sora, so that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you guys pretty much said the ones that I was thinking of as well. Like Dante's, I think would be cool. The Astro Chain.
Master Chief.
Nah.
Master Chief is another really iffy one.
I know.
I
it's not
think
gonna
him
make
and
it.
Doom Guy are on the same tier, but I think Doom Guy just has a little bit more of a legacy that it
Yep.
beats Master Chief.
I agree, kind of, but yes. Obviously, we'll get mad about that.
I know. I am too. I'm just saying a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Another character that I'd be interested in seeing would be Phoenix Wright.
How
That'd
would
be cool.
How would his moveset go though? Like,
They
that's
already
what
have a
I'm thinking.
moveset for him in Marvel vs. Capcom, right?
Wait, he was in Marvel vs. Capcom? What?
He was in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Ultimate.
So they can just take a note from that moveset and then modify it for Smash.
Yeah, kind of. But like
His down smash would be objection, and then it just sends them to the...
his forward
No.
smash could be every of his smashes could just be like a quote that has the text bubble.
Exactly, and the text box is a
It's funny.
hitbox.
Now, one thing I know for a fact that's not gonna probably appear will be like King of Fighters characters.
Another
Terry
King of Fighter
Bogard
character-
is already in there.
Who?
Another King of Fighter character could be possible, but
Wait,
they have
which
made a point of being child friendly.
What was it?
Good little boys and girls.
Was it Lori or what's his face?
What?
Yeah, it's not Iori. Oh, is it? No, it's Lori. Yeah.
Laurie's
This guy,
in the game?
he was in the promo. You probably recognize him if you actually look at him. But everyone thought this would be another contender.
He
Oh,
would be
yeah.
a great
He'd
character
be
to
cool.
Iori.
add. Yori.
But if you get Iori, you have to get Kyo.
Well, can't ask for everything, Liz.
I know. That's what I'm saying. King of Fighter characters are not gonna be possible.
The 2 fighters in one update.
No, Iori would be much better.
Wait,
Can
are
I
we talking
ask
about
for a character
undead
that I know will
Iori?
never happen?
Which one?
JoJo? Any of the JoJos?
Star Platinum. That'd be
That'd
interesting.
be cool.
That'd be so interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely definitely be a character that would not happen.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to put in this a more superior one, the undead version.
This guy.
But anyways, should we move on to the final topic?
Sure.
Awesome. So,
We have another topic. I'm just kidding.
see, so as of recently, in the past month or so, there has been a lot of games that have been delayed. With the recent one, I would say probably being Dying Light, and then Cyberpunk 2077 being one of the recents that have been delayed. What are you guys' thoughts on it? Because honestly, Dying Light one hit me hard because I really wanted to play that game.
The funny thing is that one got delayed indefinitely.
I know, that's the thing. It's like, why? It's like I was so hyped for it. Like the whole
You never know what's going on behind a studio. You know, like they could have promotional things, make it look good, and then the game come out to be a total pile of garbage. Case in point, Anthem looked amazing in its trailers, initial trailers, mind you, not so much towards the actual launch date. But Yeah, I mean, they showed gameplay. They already showed footage of Dying Light 2, and then they ended up just binning it, putting it in development hell for how long. But again, that's just something we won't know until, more info comes about it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm in a stance where I don't mind games being delayed. Dying Light 2 being the exception because it doesn't have an actual delayed release date. It just is delayed indefinitely. But for me, I would rather games be polished and come out well and be received well than come out buggy and we have a whole nother situation like No Man's Skies where they take a year to patch the game to make it playable or make it good.
And now it's
so
a
I don't
really
mind
fun
them,
game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind them taking the time to fix their stuff.
To avoid any chances of a game just failing completely?
Yeah. Like, no matter when they release it, it's going to have bugs.
Mm-hmm.
But at least have it so that it's not crashing. It's not deleting save files from God knows where. Corrupting save files and stuff like that, where some of the games recently have been doing. So,
I mean, it's good and bad to a point, It's like, should the norm be at this point to have a release date and then end up extending it?
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's a bad norm to have.
I'm on the same boat. Like, I understand, like, you can't be mad inherently if there's a delay because at the end of the day, just the people want to make it the best game they possibly can. The people developing it and the people working on it, they're just trying their hardest to meet these deadlines by these corporations and whatnot. But at what point do you just go ahead and just be like, okay, yeah, we're set on releasing this date, but this actually isn't going to be the release date? Because that's been a trend that's been going on a lot recently where they just have one date and then they just, at this point it's expected that it's going to get delayed.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts, Animal Crossing, originally Legend of Zelda, but for that reason it's because, Project NX ended up becoming the Switch and we already know how that turned out. And just a bunch of these different titles that are just releasing a thing. And then the ones that do have like a definite date end up being, no offense.
Yeah.
I get some of the worst games possible. Like any of the sports titles.
And then everyone's like, oh, it was rushed. Like, it wasn't complete. They should have delayed it.
Like, annual releases are the most notorious where they just don't do anything. Because there's just not enough time to develop a game that fast.
Yeah. And you see, there's also the thing about it. It's also us as fans that expect something extremely too highly when, and then when it does come out, we're bashing on it completely when we were the ones to blame for the release to be early.
And that's the point where I don't understand how people get mad at delays, right? Because we all want a good game. So if it's taking a while for it to live up to the expectation, so be it. I wasn't really looking forward to Doom Eternal all that much. I mean, I know it's going to be a good game, but I really didn't pay much attention to it. And then they got delayed, and then I was just looking a bit more into it. And then, over time I started seeing more and more stuff for it that made me more excited for the game. So I'm definitely going to be trying to look that up
so you would
as soon as it launches.
So you would say the delays actually hyped you up more?
It depends, right? Because there's so much. It depends on how big of a delay window it is, to the point where like you can gain enthusiasm or lose enthusiasm, right? Like Avengers, for example, originally slated to be a March title, or March or May title, got pushed all the way back to September. All the Ubisoft games, Watch Dogs Legion, Gods and Monsters, the new Rainbow Six, all pushed back to late 2020 or 2021 when they were supposed to be releasing this summer.
But for Ubisoft, we kind of know the reasoning behind that with the
the thing is that it's worrisome, isn't it? Like with Ghost Recon Breakpoint doing abysmally in their shareholder meetings and whatnot, and failing to meet up this demand. It's like, how many of their games were gonna be like that? Like cash grabs. monetization of the UA. Was Watchdog Legion gonna have like a monetization on it as well? Gods and monsters, you know? The most obvious one probably would be Rainbow Six to look at as in terms of like, you know, like there's so much stuff they could add to monetize it. It's not even funny.
I mean, that's how Siege is right now as well. I think personally, because you like if you actually want the extra like operators, you need to invest some money into it.
But that's like their most successful game. Funny enough, that's working for them. Division 2, I haven't really heard anything about.
No, like
since the initial release.
Yeah, original launch was like, oh, it's good. It like the story's good, but then after like it kind of died out and didn't hear much of it.
Breakpoint, Doad, Wildlands was really good, and that's why that's where they got the people kind of hyped up. It did. Funny enough, Wildlands, for a time, I don't know if it's still doing it. At a time, used to be like the highest selling game, and it's not really talked about because it's not measured in terms of like score rating or like people really talking about it. It's just in terms of how many copies are sold. That game sold really well, and that's why they put all their eggs in their basket for Breakpoint. And that's when it failed so badly. It like I don't want to say it like drastically reduced the funding of all the other projects they were working on, because I don't know that, but I would take a good guess that it did hurt.
No, yeah, because if the shareholders don't approve, then like that's where like money goes down and stuff like that. So it's kind of like expected sorts. But yeah, I mean, me personally, I had fun with Wildlands. I didn't go for Breakpoint though, but I did hear that it was a little bit better than Wildlands.
I heard the complete opposite.
Really?
It was just like a terrible game. I had people return it day one. Monetization. Well, I mean, the thing is that Breakpoint released with like a small bug, quote unquote bug, that lets you boost your characters up immediately when that was intended for a much later release window. That feature, the fact that that's a feature in the game is kind of shady.
To begin with?
Yeah, you know, like you were going to implement this later, but when is later? At what point? You know, because like there's the point where like, you know, Final Fantasy 14, for example, since we've really had our hand dipping on that recently, like it doesn't immediately boost you. Well, I don't know because I don't like own the full release. I don't know if you can buy something that immediately just boosts you to a certain level, but when you're starting out to the earlier levels and up until a certain point, it gives you like double or triple the experience per doing things. And I feel like that's much better incentive.
Well, yeah, I mean, so in Final Fantasy 14, you can definitely buy items that boost your character, but it's better, especially like when new servers pop up, to make a new character there, because you level up your characters up. I think it's up to level 70, it's triple XP or something ridiculous. It pretty much gives you 100%. No, sorry, double. It's 100% XP boost for any activities, and that's better just because it allows you to figure out how to play the game and still feel like you're progressing a good amount. Because if you go into a game, just pop your way all the way up to end game content level and try to run through it, you won't know any of your like abilities, what they really do, or how to do any of the content towards end game. You're gonna be lost.
And that's like, again, why are you spending your money to get a boost? Another one that did this to a less degree that was notorious was Destiny. When they first launched the Shadowkeep expansion, the first week of their Iron Banner stuff, you could actually buy your way to a certain light level. And at that point, it wasn't even worth it because you could just grind out the story for free to get to that light level. But you could either spend $20 to like cheap out or basically pay to win. You're not paying to win because you're not really winning because you still need the skill at the end of the day.
Pay to play?
Yeah, which is ridiculous because or it's just paying for convenience. And I think that's the word they were using when they were stating the reasoning for having this thing in Breakpoint. Is like, oh, you're paying for the convenience of it. It's like, well, that's not a good incentive because if I'm playing a game, I want to invest my time. I want to play it and then do this. Sure, there might be things I would like to buy additionally, but like that's not something.
You see, it shouldn't be the main game.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a little. So basically, I see like you're like, I want to play through the story, but there's some people out there that want to, when they go in, they want to be caught up with their friends. So then they could have those laughable experience, those memorable moments.
I'll level with you. Do it like Borderlands, where you can go into an instance, or hell, even Division, their own company has done this already, where you can go into a game and it'll scale you to their level and then give you loot at their level, and then when you bring it back to yours, it just drops it down.
Mm-hmm. And not only that, I mean, in a case of Final Fantasy 14, if we were to do that, if me and our other friend were at level 80 and you just came in and bought the thing, we could not teach you all the mechanics of your character. We could not teach you how to do the raids. We could not teach you how to do all the dungeons in a way where we're going to have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why having that part where you're leveling by yourself and understanding how the game works while leveling is so crucial. And if you cheat that system, you're not going to have a great time with the end game content, and you're going to think it's a bad game because you don't understand how it works.
You're just going to get your ass beat.
Yep.
Yeah. But
well,
I mean, I can see where you're coming from, Frankie. I've had people actually talk to me like they love and this is like a very sparing few, so don't think this is majority. But these are the people that these systems are intended for, because they know that if they can get one of those people in, it pays for like over like 20 of just a standard user. Because I've had people come up to me, it's like, I love the pay to win stuff. I loved, just buying all these boosts and things to just, cut the middleman out. And, it's hard to not say like, well, what's the point to them? But, for them, it's like, oh, the excuse they always give is time.
Mm-hmm.
And if time is such a factor for you in order to play games, then just pick a different game. You don't need to find a game to, literally sink in 200 hours of your time in order to start. There's plenty of good games that literally only take maybe like a couple of sessions to play through.
Mm.
Or like to feel like you're doing something impactful. Like I know a lot of the Dynasty Warrior games feel like you're doing this big, giant scale battle. But in reality, it's like the first few missions. You don't need to, do anything crazy. You can have like one session of that and you can feel like you're, like you're on cloud 9.
Mm-hmm. I know another one, because one of my old coworkers used to say this, but Overwatch, she loved it because she had a busy lifestyle. So whenever she had like just 10 minutes to play or something, she was able to pop into a Overwatch match, do 1 or 2 Overwatch matches, and then she's good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the progressing thing. It's just doing things like that. Like, at that point, just play mobile games. If you have like no time whatsoever, you can take mobile games with you.
And now mobile games are actually getting to the point where it's like they're actually getting pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them.
I would not say that you're wrong, because there are some good mobile games, but that's a very subjective good to like everybody. It's like, what is a good game? There's a bunch of mobile games that are good. Don't get me wrong. Like there's a lot of good story-driven games that are only on mobile, and there's a lot of just good things, but like you're never going to get the same experience. It's a completely two different sides of the same coin, unless you're using like the PC for your mobile games. Frankie.
Call of Duty.
It was one time, okay?
But yeah, I mean, I know disappointment can set in with delays. Like I know Jason kind of bummed out Final Fantasy VII got delayed less than a month, might I add you, but still.
Yeah, but at the same point, it's like if they're gonna fix bugs and make it better, then I can't complain too much.
The thing I'm having gripes with Final Fantasy VII is more that it's episodic.
Why is that?
I have no idea. I think it's just either they're just making so much shit for it that it has to be episodic, or else it was never released on a just like a proper thing, or just like everyone says, money, just a money thing. The thing, I don't really know too much about how the thing works. I think you're only paying for the first episode. But you know how the original game was split into 3 discs? Mm-hmm. Would it be like that? Would there be 3 episodes?
I think we have gotten to a point where I don't believe we will need 3 discs to play a game.
No. What I'm saying is, the original had 3 discs.
Yes, I know.
So to keep it true, do you think they'd just make 3 episodes based on the things?
I don't think so. I think they did it back then because they didn't have a choice. You know what I mean? It was such a big game, and there was no real way to have it all on one disc.
Mm-hmm.
Where now it can all be just one linear story.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to break it up anymore.
And you can directly download too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's another one? I mean, I think that covers most of the ones that got delayed this month. Just this month alone. We don't know what might be the next big delay.
Hopefully this is definitely not a trend that keeps on throughout the year.
I don't think I can see any game realistically to get delayed. I know Cyberpunk got delayed all the way to what? I forget.
September?
Was it September?
But you read the article why that's getting delayed, right?
Yeah, yes. Cyberpunk makes much more sense in the grand scheme of things. Again, it already looks good. It already looks amazing. Though the main one that's gonna be the main reason they're delaying it is because of how many paths you can go and how many side quests you can do. They're just making sure that each one of those is polished and well done and stuff like that, which I can respect.
Not just that, it's also because they're trying to make sure the game is running functionally on the old gen consoles, the Xbox One and the PS4.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I have no doubt in my mind that CD Projekt Red can put out a quality product. The same with Capcom's titles. I know they haven't announced any delays as of yet. I don't think they're gonna delay Resident Evil 3, but with the caliber they've been putting out so far, surprising, right? It's like we're talking about Capcom as like a juggernaut of like good games after so many bad ones.
Yep.
No offense, but like Monster Hunter World, Iceborne, Immaculate. The Resident Evil franchise got robust, and now they're just doing. And then they even bought a bunch of, or not bought, but like they're bringing a bunch of their old IPs and doing stuff with them. Like things like Dino Crisis and all that. No one even talks about Dino Crisis. But yeah, that's a company that's definitely putting their best foot forward, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Now, what would you guys feel if I said this is if Project Red should just trash off the idea of putting the Cyberpunk on the old gen console to just go on to the next gen?
And that is not good.
I mean, I understand it's not good, but to help out when it comes to the performance, I mean, this game already looks like next gen type game. I wouldn't care if it's going to be on old generation stuff.
The thing is that means people won't be able to play this game realistically maybe like 2 to 3 years from now, because not everyone is going to get a PS5 or Xbox Series X the day it comes out.
Yes.
Understandable.
Some people have to
the titles like that usually start being overtaken within the next year after its launch, because no one is going to be. I mean, yeah, there's going to be that big boost, people buying it day one, but then you also got to think about people factoring in like production cost and then people of shortages. Like how many people are going to buy this? Then it sells out and can't find it.
Yeah, I understand that as well.
Yeah,
I understand that as well, but I'm just saying, like, at this point, the game makes sense just to be on a next-gen console, not a old gen.
PC. PC only?
Yeah.
I mean, they, for example, because I could see a game that kind of did this, Breath of the Wild. They did release it for the Switch, but then at the same time, they had the Wii U.
That's what I was getting a while back, where they were talking about. So the funny thing is that I was having this conversation with another coworker of mine a day back. He was like, so it's because we were talking about delays and whatnot, because we were talking about Dying Light 2. He was like, Legend of Zelda got delayed too, and then I had to remind him. It's like, just because of the Switch. What's going on at the time. And then he was like, yeah. And then he was telling me, like, initially people were upset that the presentation was just going to be about this one Zelda game. And then after it ended, everyone was like, oh, can we have more of this one Zelda game? And then people started seeing more and more stuff for it. And then it was like, oh, it's getting delayed. Gets delayed again. People wondering why. Not really good answers because no one knew at the time that it was going to be a launch title for the Switch.
Mhm.
And then it became a launch title for the Switch, and then the reason for the delay makes sense now because they were just making that game for the next generation.
Mhm.
Which, I mean, like Lewis said, it definitely could be a possibility that you're just like trying to optimize it for the newer consoles.
Older consoles.
No, what I mean is like,
No, like it's already optimized for the new consoles. You're trying to optimize it for the old stuff.
well, that's kind of weird though, you know? It's
Exactly.
because they don't have not like in terms of
No. That's what I mean. I mean, I would prefer them to. I understand why they would want to put it on the old consoles as well, but again, it looks like a newer title. Put
what
it on
I
the
meant
newer
more
system.
so is like I didn't really expect CD Projekt Red to have like the dev kits for both the new systems so in advance
Mhm.
that they would go ahead and then make their game optimized for thing. It makes sense because they probably worked on the PC code for it first, and then they started working on their console iterations, so they
Yeah.
could just base
Mhm.
it off that. But like, I don't know. I just feel like they wouldn't have had enough time with the new dev kits going out.
Mhm.
That's just me. I wouldn't know.
Interesting. I think we covered about everything that we wanted to cover. Anyone got any additional comments, statements?
The K for Smash.
Yeah, K for Smash.
Okay, for Smash.
If they include any new King of Fighter characters, definitely K.
I'm still gonna go with Iori. Or what's her face? Mai.
No,
Mai?
they already said
Yeah, I
Mai's
know,
not
I
for
know.
good little
Yeah,
boys
yeah.
and girls, Ivan.
Yeah, I can understand why.
But just put K in the game.
Yeah.
Make
Is
him
he-
the most
I
OP.
mean, look at that V. Can you even call that a V-neck? That's like a V-body.
That's the
Yeah.
V-neck extended version.
Only cool boys and girls do this.
Yeah.
But anyways, Ivan, would you mind taking us out?
Mm. Well, that just about covers it for us at the Burning Ship Podcast. If you guys liked hearing our slightly more shortened topics with the two, but hopefully you like the more in-depth discussion in them, feel free to let us know with a comment or a like on the video. And if you enjoyed hearing us talk for a while, for the hour, I think roughly, feel free to hit that subscription button and ring that notification bell so you know when we're posting new videos for you. And like I said, and like Ranky said in our previous videos, if you guys can't find us, or if you guys don't have time for us to watch on YouTube, we're always on different podcast sites such as Spotify, Podbean, iTunes, and Google Podcast. So if you have the time to listen to us instead, feel free to click us on there. It also does help us out a lot. And that is it. See you next week.